My first day in prison, there's a lot, there's a lot going on when you first arrive. There's gang members, there's inmates that's, hollering and fresh meat. There's inmates hollering, we gonna get you, this and that, and it's pretty scary experience. You know what I mean? You're looking for somebody to get close to, a gang to join, or whatever. It was just terrible. The guards talk to you any kind of way. People talk to you any kind of way. You never know who your friends were. I hardly slept at night. You know what I mean? Because there was so many things going on at night. Regardless of the punishment for being, jumping on an individual or hurting someone, the guys just didn't care. It didn't matter. They didn't have no heart. If they wanted you, they was gonna get you. And thank God, I escaped all that. I had a few people up there, uncles and relatives that looked out on me.
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testo with multiple cases before the...
What's good, y'all, man? Listen, what's poppin', man? It's your boy, the King, and this is the Incarceration podcast, where I talk about prison, pre, post, and present, and how everything that I experienced, that we experience in prison, has forever changed our life. This is the Incarceration. Hey, listen, right now I'm in the state of Mississippi. I'm driving going to Houston. I got a session out there about to record. After that, I'm going to South by Southwest in Austin just to go out there to network. And as I'm driving throughout Mississippi, I stopped at the Circle K real quick, man, to give me some food. And I pulled up right here on Dwayne. We were just chopping up building. He himself said that he did prison time. So in today's episode, we're going to be capturing and just, getting Dwayne's prison stories and experiences, and just allowing him to share everything that he experienced throughout his prison journey. All right, big dog. Go ahead and just start with what's your name, bro, and where you from, dog?
My name is Dwayne Jones. I'm originally from New Orleans.
Okay, and have you ever been, well, before we even get into the prison to jail story, man, go ahead and tell us your upbringing, man.
Well, my upbringing was kind of rough. I was adopted when I was real little. People that adopted me, they was really, really old. So that's where my trouble began, right there.
So when did you start getting in trouble?
Well, I started getting in trouble before I left the house. I went to juvenile for forging checks at 13 years old.
You went to juvenile at 13 years old?
Yeah.
What'd you go to juvenile for?
Forging checks.
Forging checks? All right, how'd you get into that?
Well, people adopted me on the nightclub, and we, had plenty of money. But by them being old, they didn't, believe in me working for it, taking out the garbage, cleaning up after the, good night, after a good night of, clubbing. We also owned the baseball field, so, there's a lot of trash left to pick up. And, I just felt like I needed a little bit more money, and there was money everywhere in the house. So I started taking checks and forging them.
When did things start spiraling out of control and getting real bad?
Well, when I was, say, 15 years old, my stepdad, he passed. And I don't know, a couple years after I quit school, from there I started, doing drugs, started selling drugs, and, before you know it, I start getting caught, with paraphernalia in my pocket, and start going to jail after that. About 17 years old, started going to jail.
What drugs were you using at this time?
At the time, it was marijuana and cocaine. Started smoking cocaine about 17. Marijuana, I was probably smoking when I was 16.
Okay, so when did you go to prison for your first time?
My first time I went to prison. I went to a training school first because of the forging the checks. And here's a story what happened in juvenile. There's one of the guys that worked behind the counter, and he would come out sometime and play with this other guy, Chip. So this particular day, him and Chip was playing, so, wrestling, whatever. Chip got him on the floor and wouldn't let him go. So I guess a lady, she was coming on duty, and she ended up calling the police. So about 7 or 8 of them came in there and told everybody to go to their room. So they come down to each room and, checking with everybody. They come down to my room and told me, said, I told him to get him off yet. I said, officer, I said, man, they play every day. That's not, I ain't got nothing to do with that, taking that man off him. So that was my first time going to jail, actually. And from there, went to the training school.
All right. How did you go to prison the first time?
First time going to prison, I've been caught so many times with drugs, either with attempt to sell, or just having so much that they charged me with attempt to sell, and that was the first time I went to prison.
So what you hit with attempt to sell? What was the drug?
The drug was cocaine and marijuana.
Okay. How much time did you get sentenced to?
I got 3.5 years.
What state was that?
That was Mississippi.
Mississippi. Can you walk us through your first day in prison in Mississippi?
Well, my first day in prison, there's a lot, there's a lot going on when you first arrive. There's gang members, there's inmates that's, hollering and fresh meat. There's inmates hollering, we gonna get you, this and that, and it's pretty scary experience. You know what I mean? Just didn't know. I figured I had to fight every day. Didn't know what I'd really do, but. That was the experience. Just kind of afraid of what may happen.
Can you kind of walk us through like an overview of your first trip in prison or what it was like?
Well, what it was like to me, it was like hell. I mean, we got in there and they called our names, and here you are. Going in the cell with these guys. They were like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, big guys, built, and it wasn't too bad. But the experience was, you're used to being out, have your own freedom, and here I am incarcerated now, looking at 2.5 years. So
Forever Convict family, listen, if you have not subscribed yet, please do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. Share this video with anybody who hasn't yet subscribed to this channel. Have them share it, like it, comment. Listen, share your prison stories. If you've been to prison or jail, man, drop your stories in the comments. Anything that you want me to talk about that I have not yet talked about, man, let me know. Drop it in the comments. And also remember too, man, I am a rapper. My artist name is E.I. the King. I got a whole nother YouTube channel. It's my artist channel. It's called E.I. the King. And I also have another podcast. It's called Let Me Talk Bro. I talk more so about my life, ministry, music. So y'all subscribe to my other channel as well. E.I. the King on YouTube. And listen, I also am releasing exclusive content on my Patreon. Go ahead and sign up. And also for the YouTube members, I do have videos and episodes coming only to you. So y'all do me a favor and become a member on my YouTube partnership program as well.
So being in there every day, I guess, with the guys, nobody would talk to you. They'd ask a few questions. You see them taking somebody else's tray and plates, and I figured I'd be next. So, like I said, I just had to stand up for myself, and regardless of what the outcome was, I was afraid, but I just felt like I'm not gonna let nobody take my food. But it did put a fear in my heart, that I realized that this wasn't the life that I wanted. So that was the first experience that I had.
Throughout that first prison bid, did you ever get affiliated with any gangs or?
No, I never did get affiliated with any gangs. I almost got jumped on because of that, but I never did. I just told them, y'all do what you got to do. I'm not built for this. You know what I mean? Just to, do the things that they would do, what the gangs required. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like, most of them do it because they never been loved or never had a parent or father or whatever. And I just didn't feel like that. I needed nobody to support me in any way. So I never did become gang affiliated.
So what happened whenever you got out?
Well, when I got out, at least for about 6 months, I did good, and went back to doing what I was doing, selling the drugs again. And, I got by a few times, probation or something like that, but then found myself back in prison again. And this time it was 3.5 years. So here I was again experiencing the same thing over again. And, that kind of, my heart kind of got hard, and I really, at that time, thought about joining the gangs the second time around, but, still I didn't. I still, just kept to myself and, just tried to do the time and get out.